What's good? Lucky Lefty Podcast. I threw a little something on there, boy. The Honora boys
That's
in the
right.
building. Left, FD2 mics, brought to you by Honora Whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so.
Responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. You can find us on CFB Nation, presented by Twisted
Steady.
Tea. Hey. So we're gonna lock in today, man. We're gonna hear from the players. We're gonna talk about. Look, I've been hearing a lot about this Stanford game as a revenge game. It's Stanford, man, and David Shaw is gone.
That's right.
Like he snuck Marcus Freeman, and yeah, Marcus Freeman just dude, you just can't get that lick back.
That's right.
So take all that revenge stuff off the table.
Take it off
Like,
the table.
yes. Then we'll talk about the schedule next year, Left. I think it's looking worse than I originally thought.
That's right. I mean, it's going to be a clean sweep provided we do the things we need to do.
You don't know who Texas A&M is going to have. Transfer portal opens December 4th. I expect a lot of Aggies in that portal. Florida State, we'll see over the next 2 weeks what this Rodemaker kid is about because he's going to be the quarterback next year. But they lose both top wide receivers.
That's right. Because they lose to Evan Stewart, right?
They lose the running backs, 2 offensive linemen, Jared Verse, Fisk. They lose a lot, man. So we have 2 teams on the schedule that we don't know. Jeff Brom has gone to Big Ten championships at Purdue, come back with expectations, and the next year that Purdue team flops. So you don't know who Louisville is going to be,
Yeah,
even though
not
that's
at
a
all.
set.
Because Jeff Brom definitely might bounce after a season like this.
You know what? That's a possibility, Left. That's a distinct possibility. I didn't even think about that. But I want to start off with this, man. Be thankful for your situation because it could always be worse. If you want to complain about the wide receiver position at Notre Dame, huh? Just look at what Patrick Mahomes has to deal with every week. It's pathetic. Pathetic, Left.
Very pathetic.
That dude is throwing balls to managers from Home Depot. Like, it's awful. It's awful. But I'm
Can't
actually
stand for it.
man. If I were Pat, yo, I'll be talking to Brent Veach like, hey man, you need to get this right.
That's right.
And speaking of that, Left, the wide receiver room, the youngsters, they put on the show a little bit Saturday.
They did. They
And
had some plays.
yeah, and the leader of the pack, Rico, this is what he said post game.
And Greathouse really kind of controlled the passing game tonight. What has it meant for you guys to really be the featured guys all as freshmen?
I mean, that's a big for us, but we can't give into that yet, just quite yet. We can still gotta keep laying these bricks down game by game, practice by practice, and keep going at it every week.
Coach Freeman talked about you now have to kind of handle that success and move forward. How do you kind of build on this performance?
I feel like I've been humble my whole life, so I don't really like that was today or tomorrow. Now we on to Stanford next week. I don't really just stay on my high moments, and I'll give credit to my mom too. Like she was on me like that. Like anytime I was doing something good, she gonna tell me what I did wrong. Like how Freeman is talking about he gonna get on me about my fumble. It sound just like my mom. So I'm ready for that too. But yeah, I just got to keep going and can't stay in one place. I got to elevate each game.
That goes right along to, having the right people in your corner. If your mom can also be your biggest critic like your coach,
Yep.
you're working in good space. For Rico, it is an opportunity for him to rise in the ranks as a number one receiver just due to the fact that the situation is called for it. And, he dominate these next couple games and going into the bowl game season. I think he can look to a brighter future leading the young receiver core that in a lot of ways needs an alpha dog. It needs a star. So, yeah, you want to lay brick by brick, but also work on lowering your shoulder because you got popped on one of those, plays by trying to dance a little bit too much. But you're gonna get those licks early, and then hopefully you can continue to rise and do well. So I think what's also going to highlight that is having a quarterback that's capable of getting them the ball a lot more than sometimes. And with the threats that we believe that we have, we think that that's going to be a very good possibility once he's able to uh, get in a rhythm with the other receivers. We think that can make plays like a Jaden Grayhouse, like a Tobias, like the guys coming in because, we need that type of attention right now.
I like the young man not being satisfied. Oh, you know what else I like? Has Notre Dame ever had a player that wore grills?
Yeah, we had Greg Bryant, rest in peace. He
Oh,
was,
from Florida. Yeah, he had the gold. Yes, that's definitely a Florida thing, a South thing.
but it's good to see some personality. It seems to me that personality has seemed to be the lead dog in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Just something different. I think all the guys are very responsible young men, but as a football player, that's the only edge it seems the room has outside of a walk-on lacrosse player.
Lucky Lefty podcast. What's your confidence level in the youngsters, the freshmen, Rico, Greathouse, Faison, as they go into the off season and go into next season? What's your confidence level? What do you think your confidence level is going to be like with those youngsters going into next season?
Well, you want to see an opportunity for them to be able to play big in big moments, and I want to be able to see those guys be guys that can run after the catch. I think that's going to be the ultimate uh, qualifier for me in terms of go-to number one receiver is a guy that can run after the catch and somebody that can prove that. I think is going to be the biggest factor for the team next year in the passing game because I do think that we'll be able to get a lot of 5 to 10 yard completions, but it's going to take somebody to take those 5 or 10 to the touchdown or explosive plays for us to be able to really see that impact on the passing game like we think that we have at the receiver position.
In your opinion, would bringing Chris Tyree back impact their development or take production away from those young receivers?
I mean, it would take production away just because he's there, but I think that production away from the young guys. But either way, we don't have a guy that we need nor we miss at this point. So for us and for me specifically, Chris Tyree adding himself back in, it's just about can the quarterback find ways to give him the football to make the impact. And for the younger guys, I think there is a development piece that needs to be in that slot. I think Jaden has done a great job. But we'll see. I mean, how is the offense going to be changed without an Aldrich Estime? Are we going to a run heavy because we have Jeremiah Love and Jadarian and the running backs that are coming in, or are we looking at a different focus of the offense, because the offense is totally going to look different not having your running back and your quarterback there. So what is the dynamic going to look like? Mitchell Evans, I don't even think is going to be there. So you're working with a whole new group, a whole new left tackle when Joel is leaving. So it's a science project in the sense that you need to identify who you want to go out there as your quarterback. And Jelly is looking like the leader right now, but it's a long time between now and the spring and now and next fall. So the whole new offense having a new makeup, I think, is something Marcus Freeman can get his hands on a little bit more in terms of the direction he wants it to go. The success that seems to keep reoccurring for me, in my opinion, is the play action needs to be developed, and it's about who can toss that ball the deepest and most accurate, because we know we're going to be able to take some shots with a nice running game, especially with the talent Dina McCullough and Marcus Freeman is able to acquire in that room. So for me, I do think that the possibility of the offense, and those receivers having a heavy hand in it is a huge possibility, especially that those young core that got a chance this year to kind of salvage what that room has left. And for those older guys, Chris Tyree and the Deion Colesleys of the world, you're going to have to make some decisions, because Marcus Freeman should challenge that room to advance, not just because it's seniors, but because it needs to be competitive in that room to make it better.
Left, I'm right there with you. You just tapped into something. Man, look, the years of Notre Dame just plugging in the seniors at the wide receiver position. Man, dude, if I can't trust you to be on the field, then what are we talking about? Like, I hope Jaden Thomas and Deion Colesy continue in the tradition of seniors at the position having their best years. But you're going to have to show me like Missouri, bro. That's the show me state. I'm going to have to see it. Other than that, these youngsters are at the forefront in my development, including Sal Date, Cam Williams, the freshman coming in. Like, dude, Braylon James, this is the talent. Tobias Merriweather, this is the talent. Forget the seniority. This is the talent to take us to the next level offensively. For me, that's being pushed to the forefront during the spring and the off season more than seniority.
That's right. And especially, you want to get your ship at the right balance. I think we've been wading in the water and riding the wave too often these last couple of years. I think this is the year where we get some consistency on what it should look like year in and year out, outside of the makeshift what we had before in terms of continuing with somebody else's stuff. So this is the year we find our balance and consistency, and I think Marcus Freeman is going to take hold of that, because if not now, then never.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's talk about more of that youth. And our poll question of the day up on the YouTube page right now. Where does Aldrich Estime rank on the all-time running back list at Notre Dame? Is he top 3? Is he top 5? Is he top 10? Or number 1? Those are your options. Go to the YouTube page right now, subscribe, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, so every time we go live, you'll be able to rock with us right now. If you have questions, later we're going to get to the bag. That's what we do best. GTB. Put GTB, your question, your comment, and we'll get to it in the second half of the show. Talking about the great number 7, man, his comments post game.
It's been a ride, a lot of ups and downs, but I'm so blessed that I chose this place. This place honestly changed my life, honestly, for better. Like you said, I could come back. I could not. I don't know. That's not a decision I've made yet, but I'm just looking to finish these next 2 games, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of this great team and with a great group of guys and great group of coaches and great refs, great media, great professors, and everyone.
We'll go to your right on the third row. Hi, Audric.
You doing?
Did you feel any kind of wave of emotions that could potentially have been your last time walking off that field?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, definitely, because I haven't made a decision yet, but like you said, it could be potentially my last time, and I know for a fact it was Sam Hartman's last time. It was JD, some of the guys on the defense's last time, a lot of the seniors. So, just going hard with them the whole summer, dying in conditioning, just to be able to finish out strong like this and see the smiles on their face and see everyone's family on the field. It was just a great moment and a moment I'll remember forever.
So yeah, we were very adamant yesterday, Left, that as much as we love Aldrich Estime, we would not be mad if he left for the NFL after
That's
3
right.
seasons.
That's right. We definitely would want him to graduate. I think he's serviced Notre Dame just like Kyron Williams serviced Notre Dame as well as he could. And Kyron was able to take the honorable graduation route and be able to put himself in good position where he's in the league now making some plays. So it was a good graduation, not a wrong graduation.
Yeah, I look at it like this, Left. It's one of those things where um, I think he's been great for the youngsters. And this is something I wanted to bring up as well. Comment from my guy Jay Carr said the run scheme will probably be different with more versatile backs than a great north and south runner in estimate. Well, I'm interested. Left, man, you're an OC. The conversation between Jared Parker and Joe Rudolph is going to be very interesting because what you saw against Wake Forest is you saw Notre Dame with the young interior starting for the first game, Billy Shrout and Ashton Craig, go from all of the pulls and athleticism, and they went back to what made them dominant at the end of the year as an offensive line from last year. And that was power, duo. That's the strength of this team. And that's the basis or the base of most of these men on the offensive line or in the offensive line room. That's what they've been under. Power scheme, duo scheme, especially with Tommy Reese. You come in, Joe Rudolph tries to implement all this athleticism, pulls, buck sweeps, all that stuff, and it wasn't working. You saw what the line was able to do when they went back to their roots and were just able to go ahead, run power, duos, get to the next level, impact the linebackers, and allow Audrey Estime to do his thing. But heck, Jeremiah Love came in and got 5 yards a pop, running straight ahead. So you might have more versatile backs. I don't know if that impacts the blocking.
Yeah, I think, more versatile backs just means more backs in space in different ways, hopefully. So the run game, I don't think should change on the base of a duo thing because that's our thing. I think that's what Joe Rudolph, can carry on along with Jared Parker, who has seemed to take a liking of that play as well. But I also think that, having versatile backs, Joe Rudolph is the most equipped dealing with the staple of running backs he had at a time when Melvin Gordon and James White and all those guys were different type of backs and they had 2,000 seasons each. So I think that film still exists in that Notre Dame area, and he's going to be able to utilize that with the style of running that Jeremiah Love is. But hopefully that also incorporates Jeremiah Love in the pass game, which I think makes him very special as well that we have yet to see. But we know the number one most open receiver in any play is the running back, and Jeremiah Love being a talent in many different facets can help us do better in that way, especially with a young quarterback, regardless of who it is starting back there next year.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I think the talent, the youth was served well on both sides of the ball. Wide receivers got loose. Play action Left. 10 for 12 for 137 yards on play action passes. I guess the play action can work at Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's just a matter of continuing to use it as a threat and not as, a surprise. I think we surprise ourselves when we see how well it ends up working every time we use it. We just don't use it enough to say that's the other complement to our offense, which I think is something that we have to grow into, trusting our quarterback to and leaning on him in the pass game to make more plays downfield.
As we move forward, I think it's very important that we understand the quarterback position must be improved, right? That's safe to say, Left.
Absolutely.
Um, you need more playmaking ability at the position, right? Um, game manager, and I said this yesterday, Left. If Notre Dame had supreme talent at the wide receiver position, a veteran stud offensive line, and the running back room that they're going to have, and heck, this might be the best tight end room. By the way, I know you mentioned it earlier. Mitchell Evans will be back next year, Left.
Okay.
So they'll have leadership in that room, but they'll also have youth, right? Because you saw Eli Raridan and Cooper Flanagan. Dude, they might be the best runners athletically in the room, right? Mitchell Evans athletically might be the third or fourth best tight end athletically. So getting the right guy at quarterback, if they were more experienced and talented, I wouldn't have a problem with Steve Angeli being the starter, Left. Because Steve Angeli is not an eraser at the position, right? Can he manage a talented offense? He probably could, especially against that schedule next year. But is he that next level, erase mistakes, make plays, playmakers at the position? That's something that I sit here today and I say, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. But we're going to see in the off season, because it doesn't matter what I say. That young man has an opportunity to go out and prove himself, along with C.J. Carr and Kenny Minchey.
Yeah, I think if he's given a chance the rest of this season, he can prove a little bit with the game having a little bit more at stake.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So let's hear from 10 after the game, talking about this season and how things went, Left.
The games, I mean, we were filling them out, they were filling us out, and I'm sure there's corrections on the tape, but it was a weird game. I mean, I think to say it was just another game is be lying. I think Sajik Esme another 100 yards for the boy. Damn, he actually went for 124. That's impressive. No, I mean, I think it was it's an emotional game. I think a senior night, second senior night, but here at Notre Dame, obviously it's a unbelievable send off for our guys, and it's always going to point to me and being the Wake Forest, whatever. And but I was just happy to see us go out there and execute as a football team. I think we've been, especially on offense, been dying to do that for the past really 3-4 weeks, and for our fans to get a performance by us that is, I felt, noteworthy and a fun experience and a game I'll always remember.
Well, you can appreciate Sam acknowledging the significance of what it means to have senior day at Notre Dame and to be able to get a win like that. And it probably is one of the top memories. You beat your former team on senior day. So,
Yeah. You know what's funny about that clip? He mentioned that Audrey Estime went over 100 and then said, oh, man, he went for 124. That's impressive. I'm like, bro, this is Notre Dame, 124 for the number one running back. That's we expect that darn near every week.
That's right.
Like, dude, you definitely have never had a good running back or consistent running game. It's obvious. If that impresses you, man, look, I told you, Sam Hartman, I don't think knew what he was stepping into as a quarterback of Notre Dame.
Absolutely. I mean, the gifts just keep giving when it comes to, you were the first to probably get that much money to even come to Notre Dame to play quarterback, and then to not have to have the expectations, but for a year, and to be gone with the win. It's like, man, you made a great bank robbery situation. But in terms of just the possibilities at the position, man, what somebody that is a little more dangerous could do and what it can mean for the program.
It should be very exciting. I'm excited to get there in the spring, bro, at bowl prep. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to watch practices, do skeleton drills. I'm excited, man, because I'm telling you, this team, from a talent standpoint, is more talented. That's not the question. Now, I won't name names, but there's some coaches that should be under the microscope. All right, there's some coaches that should be under the microscope. And at the end of the day, you have to find some things to bring out production. Because you can't sit here and tell us we don't have talent. You can't sell us on that, Left. You flat out can't. I'm going to give you something that might be quizzical for you, Left. I want you to rank the position rooms right now as far as talent moving forward.
Well, I think the running back room, definitely the first group. I would say, if we're just doing offense versus defense, say that the the running back room is the most dangerous and most consistent, and is responsible for the most production offensively. So if we're talking about on the offensive side, the running backs would be first. I would say the tight ends. I would say the tight ends would be second from a talent and meaning to the offensive unit. I would say they're second. And then I would say the offensive line is third. And then just from a talent perspective, you know, I would like the receivers to be right there, but it's, for what we need, they're both fourth and fifth, probably tied.
So you got running back, tight end. I would probably put quarterback and O line right at 3. Quarterback room is unproven, but with CJ and Kenny, the O line is talented. It's just young. And if they're going to continue to go duo power, which is the strength of most of the guys they recruited, I'll rock with that. Wide receiver, once again, talented, young. I mean, I understand why you have them where you have them, but that tight end room Left is next year is going to be, once again, 5 deep. They definitely might be the most depth is in the tight end room. And I'm talking about guys that can come in and immediately play. They in the running back room. I mean, you can argue the tight end might be the most depth. Running back might be the more talented. O-line is talented, but we'll see. Even if Blake Fisher leaves, right? Because I know everybody thinks Blake Fisher. This is the thing about Blake Fisher. I've been telling people this all year. Right? Blake Fisher has all his flaws, right? But his flaws are magnified when Notre Dame gets off schedule. See, Notre Dame is a running team. See, when Blake Fisher is allowed to run block and maul and then play action and not so much drop back passes, you don't see the flaws as much. And it's something he needs to be more consistent at. His footwork, attacking the speed rush instead of letting the speed rush get to him. We get it. But guess what? Blake Fisher can go to a team like the Ravens, who pretty much throw to the tight end and run the ball and be successful now because of that system. Now he might get exposed if he went and played for Kansas City. That doesn't run the ball as much. It's a lot of drop back with Patrick Mahomes. Blake Fisher could go play right tackle for the 49ers, opposite Trent Williams. Run the ball the majority of the time, play action. You know, when you're talking NFL, it's all about the system. So as much as people think that Blake Fisher has been disappointing, I keep telling people, PFF has him as a top 5 right tackle in all of college football. That's where he grades out. Despite all the disappointment, that's where he grades out. And it doesn't matter how we feel. All he needs is one scout to fall in love with his talent and promise. That's all he needs. One team, one scout, one system. That's all he needs.
And that's all it takes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you just need one guy to fall in love with you. You don't need all 32. And like you said, Blake Fisher is magnified on this level, and the level of expectation that Notre Dame has is not the same as what these NFL scouts are looking to use and plug and play and develop themselves. So a lot of NFL, especially early rounds, is based on just raw freak talent. Blake Fisher's teetering in that category. So
Mm-hmm.
along with him going to Notre Dame is only a plus on how it reflects in the league anyway. So they're going to give a lot of credit to him going in. And you have to think he's getting ranked amongst guys who didn't go to Notre Dame that played offensive line in this year's draft class. So among this year's draft class, Blake Fisher ranks in his position group amongst some of the best doing it this year. All you need to do is be good and look great for one guy and one team in the year that you're going out. And it's just a matter of, you know, he is who he is at this point. There's enough film out there. It's just, is this year better to go or is next year better to go? I think the healthier you can be, the better your chances are of getting striking hot while the iron's hot. And, you know, you can bank on development once you get in there. Think a lot about Wani Taylor, who was my left tackle at Florida the year I was there my grad transfer year, who
Mm-hmm.
ended up staying the year after I left and ended up going, the round he was going to go. And he's still developing. He's blocking for
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes right now.
Yeah.
He's blocking early for the. So it's just a matter of following the right team that wants to develop you and take the chance, because that's all you can ask for is the chance. But in terms of having the talent to get there, he can go right now. He can go right now.
Yeah.
From the talent
And
to get there, he can go right now. So
yeah.
it's just a matter of, is he in the right place for the right team to take him in this year's draft, or is it next year? So it's just a matter of when. But I think the healthier and earlier you can put yourself in there, the better. And if he's getting good ratings to go, I mean, hell, I would go. Why not?
Just like Darnell Wright from Tennessee went off his tape against Will Anderson and that matchup against Alabama, Blake Fisher can go off that Ohio State tape because he
Yeah.
dominated JT pretty much the entire game. You didn't even hear JT's name
Until the
against
end.
Ohio State. You didn't even hear his name the entire night until that last series where they had Blake pinned down and tried to bring the tight end across to block JT on 2 consecutive plays. And like the great player he is, he wrecked both plays.
That's
And
right.
Notre Dame ended up having to get the ball back to Ohio State. And to me, Darnell Wright, I didn't like the pick, especially when you got a chance to take Jalen Carter. I was like, I don't like the pick. Sorry. And he's personally lost 2 games, missing assignments and blocks in the fourth quarter this year. So,
That's right.
but people want to say Blake needs to come back. Blake has played 3 years under 3 different offensive line coaches.
That's right.
That's it, man. He's like, man, I'm tired of this. He might feel like, man, I'm tired of this. Everything's different. There's no consistency. I'm gone. If I get a second round, third round grade, I'm out of here. I'm gone. And that's his decision. The NFL, in a sense, at the O-line position, if you have talent, is very much like the NBA G League. Left. It might be one of the only positions in football where you can be super raw
And be picked up all year.
and be picked up, because offensive lines in the NFL, yeah, I
It's just
agree.
better to be younger when you in there. You just get more years at it. But you're gonna hang around for a long time just being good. Q got another 10 years in him if he wants it.
Facts.
Provided, obviously stay healthy, but he got 10 years, I would guess. If he wanted it.
Yeah. And once again, like I said, he only needs a couple of teams, man.
Yeah.
That see him fitting their system.
Teams that probably like him and want him right now.
Yeah.
They don't care about that staying in college stuff.
You got an NFL coach that's watching him right now, watching the Ohio State tape like, oh,
I can work with that.
I can work with this. I can get this out of him every week. And that's it. Right? Because I look at the NFL and I'm like, there's some real questionable offensive linemen, bro. Yeah, look
at the first round offensive linemen that don't work out.
I'll say this, and I'm being about as honest as I can. Blake Fisher could start for the Bears offensive line right now. That's how bad that offensive line is. Blake Fisher could find a spot on the Bears offensive line right now.
Or the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right now. Right. Pittsburgh, their offensive line has struggled. And that's, once again, now you're talking about a system left that fits what he does best.
Run blocking.
He wants to run block and get him up in the lather and then play action.
That's it.
They're not about to drop back and pass 30, 40 times. That's not his strength. But if you get a team with a system that fits his strength, they will fall in love with him. They will. I watched it. Darnell Wright was nowhere near a first round or thought of as a first round offensive lineman and had a good game against Will Anderson in Alabama. And all of a sudden, oh my God, he's a top 10 pick. And that dude, when you watch him play, is maybe a late first round, second round pick at the position. Maybe. Did you see how easy Hutchinson went around him to end that game Sunday?
Yeah.
Like, you have to pass block and protect Justin Fields. And you barely touched Aiden Hutchinson, bro. In a clear passing situation. Look, people can prejudge him all you want to. He's just as talented as a lot of starters in the NFL. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
He's just as talented as them.
Just as, yeah.
So we got a lot of answers. A lot of people are saying that they view Algic Estimate as top 10 all time. Top 10 all time. All-time running back at Notre Dame. Top 10.
He's never had a moment, though.
Would you put... Now, see, I'll just start running down some names. Would you put Josh Adams over him?
He's never. Josh Adams up for the Heisman at one point, so you can't even. They can't even put that in the same sentence.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Just like Aldrich's never had a resume, or I'm sorry, Aldrich's never had that moment that solidified him as a top Notre Dame player. Yeah, as a great back. But what's the memorable Aldrich estimate moment that people would consider all time great? I mean,
Yeah.
damn, Cam was just surprised that the man got 100+ yards. So, not that it's no knock to it's the same as Ian Book. Ian Book is the winningest all time quarterback at Notre Dame, but you wouldn't say he's top 5 all time Notre Dame quarterbacks.
I don't know, Left. I know a lot of people that would call Ian Book top 10, bro.
No, I said top
And,
5.
oh, so I mean, there's a lot of top 5 Ian Book lovers out there too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shoot, excuse me. I didn't know. I did not know. But I mean, hey, that's the Ian has some credit. He's the winningest of all time, so you got to have some conversation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying from a beauty pageant standpoint, Audrey Estimate doesn't have the beauty pageant points, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, to be a top 10 all time Notre Dame player. Like Manti had the beauty pageant points. Josh had the beauty pageant points at some point.
Yeah.
When is Audrey's beauty pageant moment at Notre Dame? You can't think of one.
Yeah.
I think Kyron had a bunch of beauty pageant moments.
That's
I can call upon a
true.
couple of Kyron plays right now. Right now, I can call a couple of Kyron plays, and that's been
Heck,
3 years ago.
the Buck sweep against Clemson in 20.
North Carolina run 98 something yards.
Yeah.
I can remember off the top of my head the
Yeah.
Purdue slant in the slot for the touchdown, a game winner. With Jack.
Yeah.
Beauty pageant moments. Aldrich
Yeah.
has none for me, in my opinion. I mean, I can't.
I would say, no, Aldrich had a huge game against Clemson last year. Huge game.
The
Aldrich had a
game,
huge
which one? Oh, I mean, but that was
last year.
by community. Everybody played well.
Well, I
That was
mean,
the
you
Ben
got two
Morrison.
running backs
That was the
that put
Ben
up darn near
Morrison game.
300.
I wouldn't even call that the Aldrich game. That was the Ben Morrison.
No, I mean, you just said he just hasn't games and big moments. I just pointed out a
I'm
moment.
sorry. Beauty pageant moments.
He
Ben
had, man,
Morrison's beauty pageant moments outshadowed everybody on that night.
he had three, in my opinion, he had three moments. I think him and Logan Diggs both went crazy against um, Clemson. Aldrich, dude, if I'm not mistaken, I think he would have had 3 touchdowns against North Carolina if he didn't fumble trying to carry 3 dudes over the goal line, which you can't fumble, but yo, the effort was crazy. But you can't fumble. That's when he went through this fumbling thing against North Carolina, Stanford in the middle of last season. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, Left. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to find some moments
Exactly.
for the
You
dude.
gotta try to find. We call Kyron's up in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
In seconds. So it's not, like I said, not a knock to Aldrich. Just like Fauski, I can't remember too many beauty pageant Fauski moments. You just looked up and was like, dang, you the all-time sack leader. That's, I mean, I didn't even know until the year he was leaving that he was even on the radar, So
Mm-hmm.
I do think when it comes to all-time Notre Dame players, you got to consider beauty pageant moments being one of the top qualifiers.
He had one of the biggest plays of the Gator Bowl.
Nobody thinking about no Gator Bowl.
No, I'm just saying. He did. Second to last play
It
before
wasn't
they
no
had the game winning
Jadeveon
touchdown.
Clowney. It wasn't no Jadeveon Clowney beauty pageant moment. We cleaned up the running back from Michigan. That's an all-time great play.
Did South Carolina win that game?
Yeah, they won that game.
I couldn't remember, left. I remember the hit. I just couldn't remember if they won the
Exactly.
game.
You just remember that's what I'm talking about. The hit. You remember the hit. You don't even care about the outcome. You remember the hit.
hmm
Jalen Sneed, that game, what was it? What game was that, though? Whatever game we won at home, I just remember the hit. I was like, yeah, he's a player.
I guess the run to end the Duke game is his pageant. That's his biggest moment, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's his biggest moment. There you go.
Yeah, I guess that's his biggest moment.
But then again, it falls to the wayside because it's Duke. We're gonna look back 10 years from now and say that was a big moment. It's Duke. Duke may not be good for the next 5 years after this. You gotta have moments against legacy teams almost. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even that specific. When you did something against a team that, you know, even my my few moments in Notre Dame history, it was against legacy teams.
You know what? I mentioned this yesterday, Left, and how important the youth movement at the end of seasons are. And I mentioned that fourth dude. This is one of the most painful games to watch, bro. But watching you, like I was so mad through 3 quarters and 14 at USC. Man, when I tell you I was heated,
Oh man.
I was like, yo, this effort is hard, dude.
We was getting
It's
smoked.
like, oh, dude. But I kept watching the game, and then to see you and Greg Bryant go down the field twice in the fourth quarter and put points on the board, I'm like, okay, all
We
right,
got something. You
we
know what I
got
mean? We
something.
had something.
We got something.
It just felt like a win that game. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I know people were sad,
How
but
was
I
that?
felt
Wait a
like
minute. How was that? How does that play in the locker room? Because you and Greg had to feel real good
man, I think
about
man, in
what
my
you
opinion, in my humble opinion, I thought the team felt good after that. Cause it
really
was like,
okay.
man, you know, we ain't as bad as we played for real, you know.
hmm
And I think just me being able to be serviceable for the team, just a little spark. But I felt like it was that moment for me because it was just like, man, we could have been doing this all year. You know, I was more pissed off the whole time.
hmm
So, but that's still it comes to moments. It's USC. It ain't like we playing Nevada or something. You know what I mean? So
And then you guys use that to go into the game and you defeat LSU.
LSU, another program that you know what I'm saying. So I think just you gotta have moments against memorable teams. So for Angeli, it'd be important for him against Stanford to make his mark in some way. I think the coaches have. I mean, he done everything to qualify him to get a chance to play a half, in my opinion.
Mm. Yeah, Angeli should be in at halftime because Notre Dame should really handle Stanford.
Regardless, even if it's not in hand yet, let him try. Let him try to
Yeah,
win. Because what are we putting
yeah,
Sam in there for at this point? You played your last home. We undid the deal with you. Got to play your old school.
yeah.
You won senior day. It was beautiful. But we not playing for nothing now.
Nah.
So sit down. Let's see how your coaching skills are. We're gonna get you a quarter or two. And we let Langeli rock this whole thing regardless. Because we gotta see if he can win. Forget blowing it. He ain't, you're not gonna be here, Sam. So you trying to win this game for us, if I'm Marcus Freeman, ain't doing nothing for me. Cause Marcus Freeman knows he's coming back. So losing it is whatever. We lost last year more embarrassing fashion. But this year I can play it off as we gotta find out our quarterback.
Yeah, he could
we
go
got
that route. It
we,
wouldn't be a good loss. It wouldn't be a good loss. Now, I'm not gonna go
It
that
wouldn't
route.
be a good loss, but hell, I would take the dive and the proving that I would feel comfortable moving off of Angeli. He lose the game. I'll tell him right after. Look, I'm putting Kenny Minchie in for this bowl game. If we really doing it like we supposed to be doing it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have Sam set him up, get him as close as he can to half, and be like, all right, Angela, you got this half to take us home. This your audition. Welcome to Notre Dame football. We getting to a destination now.
Mm.
Depending on the outcome, gave him another
Yes.
chance for the bowl week, split time with Kenny Minchie, get Kenny Minchie in the wings,
Yeah.
and we rock out.
Yeah.
And we rock out.
Lucky Lefty podcast, man. When we come back, hey, we'll get to the defensive side of the ball, man. I look what Benjamin Morrison said about Cam Hart says everything you need to know. And left on the other side, I'm going to have you answer this question. Did Notre Dame do the wrong thing by announcing Sam Hartman last on senior day? We'll talk about it. Lucky Lefty podcast. We're back. Lucky Lefty podcast. Honora Boys in the building. Don't forget MalikZaire.com, not only for your Honora whiskey, but for all your traveling needs, whether it's air, line, or hotel reservations. MalikZaire.com for all of your holiday needs and all of your travel needs. Go MalikZaire.com. Left. Senior day, 31 seniors, and not all the seniors. Sam Hartman was the one that was announced last. Do you take issue with that?
I mean, it just shows that we didn't have no all-time favorite in this class. We didn't have no bona fide stud in this class that we would put on the poster boards because it's a damn shame. A dude come in for less than 6 months and he the head of the class and he ain't even, so that's on them. That just shows a lack of talent in that class that we need a transfer portal to end it off or to make it a little more exciting towards the end. But hey, I think brighter days are ahead and we're looking forward to it.
I take issue with the left, and I have two candidates: Cam Hart or JD Bertrand. I would have been fine with either one.
Well, I
Like
think the
you
same.
announce
I
people,
think
you announce people that represent what no. I told people that watch games as much. See, this is the same thing. You remember how people used to talk about Cam Hart? It's the same way they talk about Blake Fisher,
that's
right?
right.
And
Same
Cam
way.
Hart, Cam Hart would have had a second, third round grade last year if he
If
was
he
healthy.
if he wasn't hurt,
And he could have gone to the NFL last year.
he was at the draft room with Kyle.
Yes. Cam Hart is a second round, third round. He came back and he's still a second round, third. He's just healthy. See, for the NFL and Cam Hart, it's going to be about the medicals.
That's
They
it.
know who he is. He's not a first round defensive back. He's not. He's not that dude. So people are like, well, you can come back and do this. Man, look, if you find out that you are who you are, go to the NFL. Go to the NFL, especially if health has been an issue,
Yeah.
or you have to take care of your family, or some other things. Cam Hart embodies leadership. He embodies Notre Dame.
That's right.
He embodies doing what the team needs. He embodies playing through injuries. The spirit of Notre Dame on and off the field is
It's
Cam Hart.
JD Bertrand and Cam Hart.
That's it, man. That's it. And for Notre Dame to clout chase in this situation because Wake Forest was the opponent and they had Wake Forest fans in the stadium, it was a missed opportunity.
I agree.
That dude ain't Notre Dame.
No.
I'm sorry. He ain't Notre Dame.
And they
He was
still
a-
be trying to make it like, oh, he was a Notre Dame man. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
That dude was a hired gun.
Hired gun. He was
That's
never in the
it.
dorms. He never put no work in the dorms.
Dude, he was the dude you hired to go round up the bank robbers, and he ended up getting murdered.
That's it.
That's what happened.
Just a hired gun, man.
And you announced this dude last? What? What are we doing?
A
And I'm
hired
sure that
gun.
I'm pretty sure. I know it wouldn't play. Look, if I were JD, Jack Kaiser, Howard Cross, I look. I would have a problem with it.
Marcus Freeman gotta know that though. You know, Marcus Freeman gotta be tuned in with his players.
Absolutely.
That senior leadership group stuff. That's where that come into play. You know.
Patrick Duffy, man, that's a great point, Patrick. They could have announced Hartman first.
Yeah.
Like he said, Hart should have been the last after all he's overcome and came back better than ever. I couldn't agree with you more, Patrick Duffy.
That's right.
Couldn't agree with you more. And once again, it's just a missed opportunity, man. Just a missed opportunity. What do we?
He didn't bring Sexy Red out and start dancing on the field.
Come on, man.
You know, we can afford the little mistakes, but man, at least we ain't go all the way.
John Massey, I'm sure JD did want to win it for Sam. Because they understand how bad Sam looks right now. Man, we ain't putting too much into nothing. Dude, senior day is for the seniors that put the blood, sweat, and tears into the program. He ain't that. He ain't that. He's not.
Asafa Mensah, that's the
That
guy.
dude, that dude is a Wake Forest. He represents Wake Forest more than he represents Notre Dame. Still to this day.
That's why I was in the story.
Dave Clawson talked about it this week.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is us. And when he left, we lost a lot.
For real.
That dude is going into the college. If he goes into the College Football Hall of Fame, he's going in as a Demon Deacon. He ain't going in as a Notre Dame Fighting Irish player.
No. He's going in Demon Deacon.
Exactly.
And he knows it.
Yes, and senior day is about Notre Dame. And those that came to Notre Dame and gave the most, put it out on that field consistently. Period. And to clout chase because you're playing Wake Forest and to play to the situation and announce him last, it's lame.
It's lame.
It's lame. It's lame. And I've been critical of JD Bertrand, and I'm telling you, JD Bertrand represents Notre Dame more than Sam Hartman.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Not even close.
Who's been better this year, Left Howard Cross or Sam Hartman?
But you know, they even gave Sam the captain letter, so you know he was all in on him.
You know. He got the biggest ovation because Wake Forest fans were there and added to the ovation.
Yeah. It was a catered Sam event, honestly.
The biggest ovation make something right? That's not even logical. We're talking about what's right.
That's like
we're not talking about playing to the situation. The biggest ovation doesn't make it right. What does that mean?
That's like those NBA congratulations of other players and stuff. How NBA players go to their old arena and celebrate them more than the team.
Left. Like, if we're gonna judge ovation, if the Bulls traded for Derrick Rose right now, left, and they put him in the starting lineup, he would get a bigger ovation than DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Right now. So what does ovation mean, bro? What does that
You
mean?
said right now, not more than Zach LaVine.
Dude, yes, are you kidding me? If you heard "and from Chicago," are you dude, the United Center would go up. Still to this day.
Who would get more, Anthony Davis or Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose.
Oh, okay.
Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose.
I mean, Anthony Davis is a champion.
He is. Shoot. Are you, dude? Ovation has nothing to do with it. We're talking about right from wrong. And to place a guy that's a hired hand in front of guys that deserve to get that moment. Manti got that moment. Other great players have gotten that moment. Cam Hart should have gotten that moment. Flat out. He should have gotten that moment.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's funny sometimes.
Here you go. Ben Morrison on Cam Hart.
It's kind of emotional because coming in, Cam took me under his wing, and he didn't have to do the things that he did for me. He just taught me life lessons. Like, it was outside of football. That dude just took me under his wing and just showed me how to be successful at this university, if it was school, if it was football. So understand that this was his last game was kind of emotional just because that's a dude who, like, you look forward to coming into the facility and seeing every single day, and just the stories that we can go back and forth and tell. And it's a testament just because this time last year, exact same game, he hurt his shoulder, and we were talking. He was just like, all like this stuff happens to me, like I don't understand it. And just seeing the success he's having this year, just like it's next to none. Like, the joy I have for him, just the love I have for him, I'm so grateful for him.
Left, I tried to tell people for 2 years when they constantly criticized Cam Hart. He's overrated. He's this. I'm like, yo, this dude means so much more to this program than you would ever know. He means so much more to these youngsters.
That's right.
Than you will ever know.
That's right.
And just go watch when he's not been on the field. Look at what happens. Ben Morrison played against USC last year. Cam Hart didn't. When Cam Hart is not on the field, it's been impactful. People talk about when J.D. Bertrand isn't on the field, how impactful it's been. It's more, if not equal, for Cam Hart. And I just want to salute those dudes as they go into their last game, man. Hey, but J.D. Bertrand might not be the most athletic, most instinctive, but J.D. Bertrand has exceeded expectations at Notre Dame. Period. When Jack Kaiser and J.D. Bertrand became the starting linebackers, no one expected. People were worried. And what they've both done on the field and who they've been off the field, look, man, you have to respect it. Am I happy with some of the production? Nah. Could he have been better getting off blocks, getting to the outside, tackling in space? Yes. But the dudes, they played their tails off, man. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. So, yes, a moment was stolen, in my opinion. And I'm glad Benjamin Morrison was able to stand up and salute Cam Hart for what he has been not only to this program off the field, but on the field as well. It is what it is. And you know what? Cam Hart is always my dude because he was the first one to speak the truth and say, man, USC ain't even a rival no more. We don't even
That's right.
respect them.
That's right.
We
He's the
we don't
first
even
one.
respect those dudes like that. Now he said that last year and he was injured and didn't play. But he came back this year and was part of that embarrassment, that demolition by the Notre Dame defense against USC.
Particularly the secondary,
Hmm.
particularly his unit. So cool to see.
Lucky Lefty podcast, as we get ready to get out of here, hit this petty train as well. If you have questions, comments, don't forget, get to the bag, GTB. We'll get to those. Super chat is open. We greatly appreciate it. Left, what's the one thing you're looking most to devouring on Thursday?
The one thing I'm looking most forward towards next year,
No, what's the one thing you're looking forward to the most as far as eating on Thursday?
oh man, he said probably. I really like judging the size. I like the mashed potatoes. I like judging the mashed potatoes because it's the base for all plates. And if you have a
Mm,
nice mashed potato plate, then I know that your dinner is gonna be real solid because sometimes the turkeys and all that can waver, but when your mashed potatoes is just right, because a lot of people focus on the macaroni, rightfully so. But that
mm-hmm,
mashed potatoes, if it's the right consistency and it has
mm-hmm,
those nice additives, maybe a little bacon, gotta have a gravy, then I know you have attention to detail in making the whole dinner great when your mashed potato plate is where it's at. When you have poor or instant mashed potatoes or something cheap or lumpy mashed potatoes, I know that you don't really care about the family. Because if you cared about the family, one thing's for certain: everybody getting a dip of that potatoes.
mm.
You know what I mean? Everybody. So it's important that you judge your family's meal off of the mashed potatoes, not the LeBron of the meal, which is the macaroni and cheese, the turkey, and all that. No, no, no. The real superstar, your PJ Tucker, you need to win a championship. Is your mashed potatoes?
Left, I've never heard mashed potatoes broken down like that.
Well, it's the secrets of eating good. When you a nice foodie and you've been around a minute, you get to see what's really important in life.
Now, do you like your one of my favorite mashed potatoes are the red skin mashed potatoes where you leave a little skin in there in the
That's
mashed
right.
potatoes. I love that. Absolutely love that.
It-
Are you a skin in your mashed potatoes guy?
See, I like it in different ways. The red skin mashed potatoes are definitely where it's at. It's more about the taste. Do they have the buttery consistency? Does it hold well on the plate? Is it runny? Did you? So it's different things because when you're dressing up a plate, one thing that always is the centerpiece is the mashed potatoes and everything else around it. So I think it's important that you pay attention to it because it's just like cooking eggs. It's real simple, but it's
Hmm.
also the hardest thing to do. It's hard for people to make good eggs. So, it's one of those things where it shows a lot of character in your Thanksgiving meal because you can have different varieties of mashed potatoes in different forms and different kinds of potatoes. You got the sweet potatoes, you got your mashed potatoes, you got your red skin, you got your cheddar potatoes, you got the scallions. The scallion type potatoes, which are a nice addition. So you can have many different potato plates
Uh-huh.
at Thanksgiving, but that's why it's the most important because those are your role players. Those are your bench players you need to win that championship with. It's not LeBron. It's not the mac and cheese because everybody care about that. That's getting the highest ingredients. Everybody's paying attention to how it's cooking. You got to start off early. Everybody's hype on it, and it sometimes doesn't always come through. But that mashed potatoes though.
So
Whenever the
basically,
mac and cheese has been bad, mashed potatoes has been saving your plates, and you just haven't realized it.
mashed potatoes basically are the proof that you have attention to detail as a cook.
That's right.
That's what you're saying. You
That's
have to
right.
have attention to detail as a cook. Mashed potatoes broken down on Lucky Lefty podcast only, as Left can do. So
Because
you can't get.
some people like to just add it in real quick. Oh, we just need some. See, I know you're not paying attention because
Yeah.
it's easy to make. It's easy to make. Just to make the table look fuller. Like, oh, we got some more options. Don't treat it like an option. Treat it like you got somebody watching. You know what I mean?
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I think, as always, I look forward to see Left. My first plate is simple. Everybody's first plate is like just falling over the sides and all of that stuff. My first plate is
That's right.
simple, Left. I get a little meat, a scoop of mac and cheese, and a plate full of greens. That's my
Okay,
first plate.
that's the starter
That's
pack. That's the starter
that's
plate.
that's the starter pack, bro. Because I know I'm going back 3 to 4 times, right? 3 to 4 times. I already know that, right? So and then I go from that, and then my second plate is my heavy starch plate. Well, I'll bring in my mom's dressing. I'll
That's
bring
right.
in mashed potatoes or the sweet potatoes or yam.
Is it still with the base set of collard greens, the meat, and the macaroni?
Let me tell you something. The collard greens pretty much make it all the time, bro.
That's making it every round. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The collard. See, my mom does. My dad likes collards. The children, we like mustard and turnips. We like mustard and turnips. So my mom does both for Thanksgiving. She does collards for my dad, mustard and turnips for the kids. I saw her. She had the greens Saturday when I saw my mom. She bought 20 pounds of greens, dog. 20 pounds of greens. And my sisters went to the house last night to clean and pick the greens. It's a family effort. It's a family effort to put everything together. I've never heard of lasagna on Thanksgiving.
See, I haven't heard that either.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I heard of spaghetti,
Yeah, I've heard of
but that was
spaghetti.
usually the spaghetti and chicken wing combo. Usually is the after dinner, after the main action. Y'all about to go to a movie or something. Late night. You got to hit that
Hmm.
movie after dinner late night. New
Hmm.
Aquaman coming out. They got some things out, but that's that meal before you hit the movies and your late night event, whether it's karaoke or you go bowling or something. Most people do the movies, but that's where you get the spaghetti and chicken, to end the night. Because
Hmm.
everybody wants to wrap up they plate for tomorrow because it's literally the tomorrow plate. You can pick off of stuff, late night like your devil eggs. You may make a little plate of mac and cheese if something left, eat the cornbread, this, that, and the third. But late night, you get that mac and cheese. I mean, you get that chicken and spaghetti combo because it always puts you to sleep the right way.
Yeah, see, Mark with glasses, he's bugging. But he's talking about if your first plate isn't ridiculous, you're a lightweight. No, that means you're not smart and you're not evolved. You're trying to be a caveman your entire life. See, I don't know about you. Thanksgiving at my parents' house is a party. We're talking about a house full of people, close to 40 people.
Yeah, you can't go first plate heavy because you got to talk to people.
No, I'm strategic, bro. First plate, second plate, right? Because it's a party. I'm not trying to be the goofy that eats one big plate and then falls asleep for 2 hours on the couch.
look at crazy on the couch. Everybody like
And
it's
and
only eight
and
o'clock.
Right, and you wake up to all the cousins laughing. Show you mean business. You mean business. What is
After
that?
you eat dessert, you already passed out.
What is that? Show who you mean business. Like, what does that even mean?
You done missed the game.
You missed the game. You fell asleep at the end of the Lions game. You missed the entire Dallas Cowboys game, and you wake up and it's dark outside. All because you wanted to show everybody you meant business. Get the heck out of
At
here.
1 o'clock.
That
At 1
means
o'clock.
it must not be a lot of people where you're at
Oh, yeah.
on Thanksgiving.
It doesn't mean you're not, that's all it means. You got
Yeah, it
10
might.
people at the house. Everybody taking a nap by 5.
Exactly.
Everybody taking a nap by 5. That's it.
Exactly. Man, no. You know, I used to do that when I was younger. Right, I'm smashing. See, left. See, when I make my first plate, I also make a plate or two to take home and take it to the car.
That's right. That's why you can't eat it late night. It's the next day late.
You gotta be strategic with everything, left. Everything. I get a little corner of that mac and cheese, a little dressing. I got man, let me take this to the car. You know, because the missus, she cooks for the house. You know, she'll cook some greens for the house, some other things, and then we bring like the stuff we love back. And the next day, it's Thanksgiving all over again. But
That's
no,
exactly what it is.
I don't subscribe to just knocking yourself out with that first plate, man. You mess up your whole experience, bro.
Yeah, you missed the whole day. Why would you do that?
And like I said, my mom's house is, dude, it's 7, 8 o'clock and people are still coming in. Like the house doesn't empty out probably until like midnight.
Well, you know how we get down, man. You know how we get down. So I'm telling you, you gotta make sure that you take the proper. You know, it's one of those things. You just can't walk into Thanksgiving willy nilly. It's years of experience that you have built up from different
Yeah,
try and failures. Can't be too fly, because if you
hmm
get something on your shirt, now you're looking goofy for the family picture. So you gotta have some type of base layer in the coat or something, or gotta make sure you judging the mashed potatoes right. Gotta
got
make
to.
sure you're not going in on the first one. It's just rules to it. But you try and you experience different ones as time goes on. But there's definitely a process and a system that things get.
See, my mom, I told you, dude, I'm looking forward to short ribs, prime rib, goose, turkey, ham, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't do all
Goose.
of that. I can't put all, hey, dude, people sleep on goose, bro. I prefer goose over turkey.
What?
Dude, I mean, my mom has been making goose for the family since I was born.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Where do
it's
you
a
even find that at?
it is very expensive. I think the goose last year, my dad said the goose last year cost him a Benji. Cost him a Benji. You have to go to a butcher most of the time. Every now and then you can find it in a grocery store, but most of the time you have to go to a butcher to find goose. And it's a really gamey bird, so you have to know how to season it. And my mother has perfected the seasoning for goose. And
You have to get them to
she doesn't use turkey for her dressing. She uses goose for her dressing. And it's absolutely amazing.
goose with a turkey dressing.
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
It's what sets her it sets her dressing apart. Like you have people begging people that are coming to the house to bring back a couple spoonfuls of her dressing. That's
Because
how
they
amazing
don't
her.
know the secret ingredient.
No, they don't. They don't. It gives it a totally different flavor. Totally different flavor. So man, You guys have been saying you're looking forward to macaroni. I see a lot of votes for ham in the chat. Though my two ladies love ham. They absolutely love a glazed ham.
Some ham.
See, that's when Marshall said goose is a greasy bird. Not when you take care of it. Goose is just like chicken. It has dark meat and white meat. The white meat is drier if you know how to prepare it. The dark meat is definitely the greasy part of the goose. It's just like any other bird. If you know how to prepare it, you're gonna have your drier meat, and then you're gonna have your darker meat, which is the greasier.
Oh no, Sean.
Hey, I'm
That's
telling you from experience,
a
bro.
little different, man.
You're talking to a dude that's been eating it for about 40 years, bro. So
A goose, huh?
and my grandfather and my grandmother was the one that started the tradition because she made it for my dad and my grandfather.
Wow.
So it's been in our family for 60 plus years.
Okay. Well, that's a hit. So what round does that come in?
Say it again.
What round does the goose come in for you?
Well, if it's just between goose and turkey, goose is like always on my plate over turkey. But this year, my mom's making short
Over
ribs.
turkey, like over,
No,
like
no.
you.
Oh, it's man, turkey's not even close in my
So
opinion.
turkey at the bottom of the food chain at the Thanksgiving meal for Sean.
I've gone entire Thanksgivings without having turkey.
What? Oh
Yep,
Lord Jesus.
yep.
Oh man, just when I thought it couldn't get worse. You went whole Thanksgiving without even touching the bird?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Sean.
Yeah. And I prefer, man, it's this guy at my dad's church that fries turkeys. And his fried turkeys are absolutely amazing. The way he seasons them. So I prefer a fried turkey over a baked turkey.
I can go with that. Fried turkey been good. I had that.
Yeah, it's a little juicier in my opinion. Now, like my mom is an elite cook, so any way she does the turkey, it's gonna be on point.
Okay.
I just prefer goose. She's a man. She is masterful. You have to be masterful with the goose because it's a gamey bird. And if you don't season it right, prepare it right, it goes to the left it goes off the rails real fast.
Okay, so talk desserts then. What's the
Oh,
dessert look like?
my mother makes sweet potato pie for every man in the family on Thanksgiving.
Oh, like your own individual.
We all get our own individual pie.
Safe way of doing Thanksgiving dessert, that's for sure.
Yeah, we all get our own individual sweet potato pie, and then she'll have you know, she'll have an apple pie, which is tradition. I'll get a slice of that. Might go Alamo with that, with some, because my parents are from down south, bro. They don't believe in vanilla ice cream, right?
What? What they
It's
got
either
butter pecan?
butter pecan, black walnut. Like, dude, can we please get some basics in this piece?
That's what I'm saying. I gotta put the vanilla with it, man. They
Like,
got too many different good vanilla flavors out there. Double vanilla, French vanilla,
yes, yes, yes. Now, this is
double
another
scoop.
weird thing. We are not now. You can question our culture card if you want to, but we are not a banana pudding family.
Mm, not a banana pudding.
No, we're not a banana pudding family. My mother loves it, but the kids don't like it, so she never makes it.
Wow.
Most of us
So
are texture people.
y'all letting the kids run the house?
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. At this point, the grandkids are running it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's true. Y'all gotta organize everybody to get there and stuff.
You have to understand, my parents have grown grandkids now.
Yeah. It's time for y'all to take over.
Yeah, they
Y'all
just
gotta
had their
coordinate travel and stuff for people.
man. You already know. She'll have a caramel cake. She'll definitely have a chocolate cake. We prefer double chocolate over the yellow chocolate as a family, and we are a huge peach cobbler family.
Okay, I can rock with peach cobbler.
We are a huge peach cobbler family. So look, we have one more show, but today, as we end, we want to say nothing but the best for everyone and your families. As you enter into the holiday season, we speak the abundance and the full harvest of life over all of you guys. And we want to say in this time that we are truly thankful for you as Notre Dame fans and LL Nation for what you add to each of our shows and just what you bring to the fan base on a daily basis, man. From the Lucky Lefty podcast, myself and Left, we wish you nothing but the best throughout the holiday season. Left, you didn't. What's sweet? Yeah, what's your sweet? Your top sweet?
Man, I love a nice apple pie, and I like a nice sweet potato pie. But I like the sweet potato pie as like just a taste. I don't like the full slice. I don't know what it is. I just like to see if it's good enough and I can put enough whipped cream on it. So I'm an apple pie, sweet potato pie guy.
All right.
Because we don't really do cake. I mean, you get the lemon pound cake every once in a while, Thanksgiving that pop up. But other than that, you don't really see too many cakes on Thanksgiving. I don't at least.
I guess Thanksgiving is more of a pie holiday. Pumpkin, sweet potato. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Lucky Lefty podcast. Thank you guys. Another great show. We'll dig more into Stanford, even though it's not a lot to talk about. We'll dig into them and Trent Taylor on tomorrow. You know what time it is, Left.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic Petty Junction?
Petty Junction, Petty Story today brought to you by Anora Whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com. I'm going to have to throw Diddy on the petty train, Left.
Oh, man.
I'm not even about to get into everything. You know, the case has been dismissed, settlement has been reached. But that whole Kid Cudi thing, hey, man, look. We've heard for years, I think 50 Cent for years has talked about how weird Diddy is and how weird his parties are. But this is the third consecutive female that has shared the same type of experience. His first wife, Misa, can't stand the dude and talks about him crazy. Kim Porter, God rest her soul, has spoken to several people in confidence. about a similar experience. And then you have Cassie. So, like I said, I'm not here to pass judgment, but I'm saying, like, yo, that's crazy. And for even being in that position, I'm gonna have to put you on the petty train, bro. And it's funny because I'm like, now I wonder what young Miami is thinking.
She knew.
Yeah, you're probably right. She's probably experienced certain things to this point, Left. You're probably right. Uh, Earlier, yeah, the entire wide receiver core, including Travis Kelsey for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, dude, come on, man.
Well, he dropped a pass, and what else? He fumbled the ball,
Fumble,
man.
fumble on the 4-yard line when they were going in to get a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Uh,
That just wasn't as bad as Valdez Scantling dropping that ball like that,
oh,
man.
Left.
Game
Yeah,
winner?
yeah, Valdez Scanlon can stand alone. Because that
Yeah.
right there,
I mean, he can't put it in the hands better than that. You know what I mean?
heck, the fourth down pass, 4th and
Yeah,
26, and this dude threw a rope to Justin Watson, bro.
yeah. Couldn't come down. It take a lot to beat Pat Mahomes, man. Shout out Jalen Hurts.
Yo, talk about a team that's winning ugly this year. It's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Jalen Hurts, got him a strong, you know what, strong woman in the weights. They said the
Yeah,
sister work at IBM.
yeah. He's been with her for a while too.
Yeah, that's
I
good
think
for him.
matter of fact, she was the one that convinced him to hire his agent, which is a black female.
There you go. See,
And
when you're doing it right, it goes right, man. Shout out to him.
yeah, shout out to them. Uh, yes, Lilo Galante, I am a peach cobbler guy. Thank you. And this is for you. Carberry Q says, this is for Left. How many good players don't see the field because they aren't the best practice players?
Man, man, the best practice player is definitely an opinionated thing based on the coach itself, man, honestly.
Yeah.
Because coaches, depending on who they like, practice it's just treated differently for them as opposed to others. And rightfully so. I don't think everybody gets the same treatment on the football team. But then if that's the case, then the whole practice player makes a good game player is just more of a coaching thing based on favorability, man. Like, there's some players on the team that can mess up, and their mistakes in practice are just memorable. You know, like some guys miss a tackle on defense, and you just remember when they did it. You know, so it's one of those things, and hopefully, it happens to it's one of those filter things. You know, when you draining your spaghetti, everything you look to shift out to the bottom, and it's just a part of it. It's just like injured players. You know, you can't control when you get hurt, and being healthy is a part of the game. So being a practice player is in the eye of the beholder. I'll say that.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, man. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll post. I'm going to be posting videos definitely all day from my parents' house, Left.
Okay.
Having
That's
like
right.
because we have sports debates all day. The cousins, the uncles. It's buck wild. It's crazy, bro. Like, you would think we hate each other. If you just sat and listened, you would think we hate each other. That's how loud it gets. And we love each other. I have a cousin.
The best ones.
I have a cousin who has been saying the Clippers are gonna win a championship for 5 years, bro.
Oh my goodness.
And he holds fast to it. I'll give it to him.
Not this year. Them brothers is losing this year.
So I'll be posting videos, and you know, if we decide to give you a 30-minute show on Thanksgiving with a special guest or something, then we'll let you know. Because why? I mean, why wouldn't you watch LL? Because I mean, what are you gonna watch? The Lions and the Packers? Really?
Really?
That's a boring game.
I don't know. The Lions looking all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to beat it. I try to put up a good fight.
So for Left, I'm SD2 Mics. We might do Left. We should do a Thanksgiving podcast with our boy Ken Gibbs, just on Thanksgiving and
Oh
food
yeah,
and
we
lifestyle.
should do that.
We'll do that. Lucky Lefty podcast. Spin it different today.